comedians get away with that shit, don't they?
We should be comedians and we can be really racist.
Yeah. Just like unsuccessful
It's like
comedians.
manners, I know.
Yeah, man.
Shit, that is, man.
I know. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, no, you look like a complete cunt.
You fucking moron, you know it.
Yeah,
I knew that. I knew when every time you were like, no, shit, that is, man.
no, it's a bit fucking big, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's supposed to be big. It's obnoxious. Oh, get one of your fat fucking sausage fingers in one. It won't go on that one, will it? That's probably that's like a pinky ring for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girls like my fingers.
Yeah, that's a good fucking pinky, though, isn't it? Just fucking compliment me for fuck's sake.
Oh,
Yeah.
that does look pretty gangster. Doesn't it?
Yeah, right. Fucking
It's a bit
Jesus
gay.
Christ. Fuck you, pinky ring.
Bit like a faggot, not gonna lie.
Shut up, Salinger.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
I reckon that'll fit on there.
Yeah,
Might not ever come off.
yeah, exactly. So I can have it back then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Talk to the fucking people.
Well, yeah, right now we're talking about what a fucking thieving cunt you are. Give me my fucking ring back.
Oh, whatever it is.
Yeah, you fucking
I
smack.
can only get it on the fucking
I'll make
pinky.
one for you then. How about that?
I can't get it off.
I'll measure your
Can't
fucking...
get it off. It's not coming off. I can't get it off, dude.
I'll tell you
Right,
what,
we're gonna have to
I'll
amputate
make...
again.
Can you not get it up? Can you really not
Can't
get it up? Right, you gotta do it like this then.
Oh.
Let me pull your
No, what I'm
finger.
actually doing is pushing it off further because I'm a dick. Now I
Can you
can't get it off.
Let me pull the skin on your finger then. There you go. God, that was the gayest entrance to a fucking podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna cut that bit out.
Yeah. So if you want one of these rings, guys, I started making these, and all I need is the measurement, like the width of your finger,
Dick.
in millimeters.
Send us
Just
a picture of your
need
dick.
a photo of your dick.
With
By
my
the measurement of your
Mugshot
finger.
style, so you've got the high side angle.
Send me a dick pic and I'll send you a fucking t-shirt.
It's not even a like merchandise t-shirt, it's just a random t-shirt from your wardrobe.
Just from like Asda.
You know what? That's not a bad fucking scam, really. I don't actually make
Get a
these.
Hannah Montana t-shirt.
Scam so you can get loads of dick pics.
Yeah, like, make people think you make jewellery and really you just want to see a dick pic. Oh, he's eccentric, but he's the best.
It's art.
No, if you made dick rings, then you get lots of dick pics.
I ain't been known for the dick ring.
That's gay.
I'm not making
That's a bit
custom dick rings. You know
To
how
be
many...
honest, I want a dick ring.
Yeah, but do you know how many dicks I'm going to have to hold to get the measurement right for a fucking...
Get your dick out, let's measure your
Custom
dick.
dick
Alright.
rings. Custom dick rings. That's my
Custom
fucking
dick
forte,
rings.
is it?
Yeah, we're not rooms and shit.
But to make them ever hard and shit
Yeah,
like that.
all the Thor's ass.
Right, I know I'm like...
Hagalas.
I know I'm short, but I ain't a fucking dwarf. Like I ain't the kinky dwarf for making like the kinky dwarf making Cockrings in Middle Earth.
The Dicksmiths.
That's not sticking.
That is stuck, mate.
No, but if you want one of these, then all you gotta do is give me the width of your finger in millimeters, right? Because here's the thing.
To say dick.
Here's the thing. We use
There's the
millimeters because no one likes dividing up fractions like a fucking nerd.
Maths for
fucking
gays.
Maths
eighth
is for
of an
gays.
inch.
Yeah,
A 16th
Right,
of an inch.
yeah.
Are you
We are not
fucking
yeah.
We're not
What
using
is
imperial, man.
wrong
3:30 seconds.
in America?
3:30 seconds of an inch.
3:30
Just
seconds
say
of an
5
inch?
mil.
Yeah.
Say 5 fucking mil. Just say, look, it's
That
1,
is
2,
the
3, 4.
most
There you
retarded
go.
fucking
We
thing I've
used to
ever
use
heard
the
of.
imperial system,
And we
And
realised
now
it was
we-
stupid.
and now we use
Yeah.
the metric. But America hasn't gotten round to that shit yet
Yeah.
because they're so fucking
It's
slow.
like they're stubborn as fuck. They just
They're
insist
not
on using
stubborn,
old
they're just
shit.
retarded.
It's
Yeah.
old shit. Alright, we don't use it because it's stupid. And like, only nerds like fractions and shit.
Yeah, like 30, all that off an inch.
Yeah,
That is fucking
like,
unbelievable, mate.
Wolf
And,
can't even fucking like add up what he's lifting
Okay.
if it's not in 20 kilo
I can only
plates.
count in 20 kilo
Yeah,
plates.
that's all it gets. Honestly,
Why are you
give him-
making it 45s?
Yeah.
Why are you making it? Why
Yeah.
are you making it more
And it's not
complex?
even
Multiples
actually
of 20.
45s.
Yeah.
It's not even actually 45.
Oh, yeah, it's bullshit.
It's like 43.58 or some shit like that with fractions
just
thrown at the end.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Decimal points are just to
For
the
faggots,
point.
they're for faggots.
Yeah, but a bit more to the point than fractions.
Oh no,
Fractions. Yeah, fractions are gay.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I'm not good with numbers. 20s.
20's a good number.
The thing is, the Olympic bar is 20 kilos.
Yeah.
The plates are 20 kilos. Everything's 20 kilos. It's all 20 kilos.
If you're only
Nice and
lifting 20
rounded up.
kilos,
Yeah, simple.
you just count in
Just
twos.
like us.
Yeah.
You just count in twos and add a 0 at the end. Easy.
Fucking doing maths.
Yeah.
Jeez, as if my fucking life isn't hard enough.
It's like,
Do you know how many fucking women I'm seeing?
Easy, big fella.
That's what they say.
Oh.
What was the fucking point of this podcast? I forgot it.
The point was about
Dick pics.
being more creative
Yeah.
in one area
Yeah.
can help in other
Yeah,
aspects of your life.
side projects and like how they can develop it into main projects and to actual fucking careers. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's got to have a job. Everyone's got to pay the fucking bills, and you know some people are starting from different levels, different parts of their life. So yeah, sometimes you've got to take a job, just pay the bills. You've got to.
It's a means to an end.
Yeah. But if you're not constantly working through a side project or whatever to get to what you actually have a passion for, then you're fucking wasting your life.
It doesn't just have to be creating things. Even things like going to the gym. Like going to the gym is what started it all for me.
Yeah.
It builds that confidence,
catalyst,
and then you realise that hard work, you're not going to see the results in a day. You've got to keep working at it every single day, and then eventually you'll see the results. And
it's a metaphor,
that concept bleeds into creativity with music,
it's a
with
template,
creating the rings, creating the pyrography that I do. You know,
yeah.
You're not going to be a fucking god.
Why did you point at my dick when you said
Just pointing at your ring.
Dick ring.
You're still on this dick ring thing, aren't you?
No,
Mate,
you
I was
are.
never
Yeah.
off it. I was never.
Well,
it was
actually,
taking
you
a
know
back
what?
seat, but
Now
since you brought it up,
the wheels are turning. I'm trying to think how I can make decorative dick rings.
I really do want one. I want one, you know, like you get the ones where you can sort of tighten it, like the ratchet thing.
I can't do that.
And
I
then
could do
you gotta have like the quick release thing.
you know, like the
Because it stops because you get on and you tighten
those
it
are
up.
lifting belts. You're talking about lifting belts. You want a lifting belt
Like
for
a
your
little,
dick.
that'd be fucking
Yeah,
sick.
like a
actually.
ratchet strap for your dick. Yeah.
scaffolding on your dick.
No, like a little SBD fucking.
Yeah, you know, like the ratchet strap belts.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those for your dick, like a mini one. You know, if they made like a key ring or something, you could probably definitely like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they do.
shoot like with an working action. Yeah, we can fucking.
We
alright.
patented this. Don't go fucking. We patented this.
Don't say anything to SBD.
No, but like, alright, so for example, like the rings for me, right? So like, I've always had little things, like over the years, like, because I do like metal fabrication and welding, and like, I've always enjoyed doing my own projects, because I like what I do, but I've got to follow rules and I've got to follow a plan. And then, like, you know, I used to make, like years ago, I used to make gym equipment, you know, make like Swiss bars and trap bars and shit like that, you know,
I still
gripping
use
equipment.
that equipment.
Yeah, it's over at like the gym he trains at. And I got, like, I was engaged when I was doing that. Like, I'd wake up making sketches of shit I was building, and I'd be on my break, I'd be on to like the suppliers trying to track down like the tubing to make logs and shit like that. And it was just, it consumed me, you know, and it was like, but I was engaged while I was doing that.
Good
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be consumed there.
Yeah.
Because if you're not consumed by a passion like that, fire within you, then something else is going to distract.
And you've got to feed that fire, and that momentum that you build will then bleed into the rest of your life. Like Paul actually did a really, really good article. It's called Runic Semitones. I'm not going to try and articulate it now because I would not do it justice. He worded it really well in that. Really well.
Like,
give us a fucking.
well, yeah, give me fucking context.
It's the same concept. It's just that
okay.
concept.
Okay,
Yeah.
Everything bleeds into one another.
So basically, I'm as smart as Paul Wagner. Wait, you see a coaster on that?
Oh,
Take it off the fucking wood, you
This was
degenerate.
so anabolic.
Take it off the
so
fucking wood.
Fucking rock and
That's
roll.
an heirloom, you cunt.
You need a doily.
Put it on
Put
there.
a doily.
Put it on there. No, put it on
Air
there.
means.
Put it on the paint. Fuck's that. No, but like, so like I make these out of brass as well. I just started them, and I've never worked with brass before, so I had to like figure out like
If you could fucking inlay the
Nah,
brass
that's-
rune in brass.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna.
How-
that's gonna be. No, I could solder it in. I could do that.
How would you get it underneath though?
No. All you'd do is you'd engrave that, and then you'd solder brass on or copper on top,
melt it
and then
into it,
and then flush it off. That's actually a sick idea.
That'd be
There we
sick.
go. We got another good idea, right? But so I've never worked with brass before. It's a completely different metal, and you have to work it in a different way. So then I'm researching how to do that, and I'm got a limited amount of time to do it in my own personal time. You know, like on my break and stuff like that, or at home. So I'm like figuring all this stuff out, and like I find that when I'm like, because I really enjoy that shit. Like just looking at a solid block and thinking, how am I going to approach this, or like what can I do to that, and like seeing it develop as you go along. Getting new ideas, and then I'll start writing more articles when I'm on my break or when I'm at home. Like it gets everything else flowing. Then I'm like looking at my training and how I'm approaching that, like books that I want to read. It actually gives me more energy towards everything else because it just turns all that on.
Yeah, I believe humans work not from energy but actually from momentum in that way. So that way you have to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, I feel like not being in full-time everyday work at the minute, I feel like I've lost a lot of momentum. I'm just trying to fucking build it back up again in terms of this sort of motivational speaking and stuff, these opportunities I've been offered. And I've been offered opportunities to go and work in schools and go and talk to kids about life as an amputee and stuff like this. And the agency that worked for me have like said that they want to send a film crew and stuff. We were on about it earlier. And like, document it for the YouTube channel, and these opportunities come up once you start to build that momentum.
Yeah.
You know,
One thing leads to another.
I think when you work on yourself and work hard, the rest of your life will just kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
And if you put all of your efforts into one thing to do it really well, like I've always thought, you're only as good as your last job.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like your CV can be impressive as shit, but like that's a resume for the Yanks out there. But like. If you
Got to take their hands and walk them through language.
Yeah, we have different things we say in other countries, but
trousers.
Can't be bothered to put the U in the word colour.
But like, I forgot I lost my fucking train of thought then.
Ah,
What was
shit,
I on about? No, I had a fucking point, you cunt.
And they can't say cunt in America, they lose their fucking shit. They're fucking freaking
No,
out.
but it just sounds weird. You cunt.
Well, the worst
Like-
when they try and say twat, they go twat.
Yeah. No, like, you remember that Danzig video where he gets fucking floored?
Yeah.
Right, in the fucking like the back of
Backstage.
stage, yeah, he was like, well, fuck you, and the guy just decks him, and that fucking chick in the background was like, fuck you fucking cunt. It just sounds so shit. Like, you don't try to be hardcore over it, don't work, you know. Like over here, it's like cunt just comes naturally to us, you know.
Cunt comes naturally to me.
Oh, the women like you then, do they? Right? Yeah.
I do okay.
Alright, you guys say some shit then.
Go on, fathead.
Don't put me on the spot like this.
Come on.
Come on, talk about cooking.
Well, no, look,
He likes talking
that
about
project
cooking.
that you're doing at the minute, that pyrography,
Yeah.
that's badass. It's like, how did that come about?
The thing is, I always wanted to just kind of have something I could do in my downtime. I think something to do at home, because at home it's like there's no adventure.
You like a hobby?
Hobby. That's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word.
What's the word for things you do at home that aren't work?
Masturbation.
That is work.
Dude,
though,
my
mate.
dick's
That
falling
is
off from that
fucking
much.
work.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a hobby, something I could do at home, something that wouldn't require too much physical effort, because I'm really fucking exhausted from my work and from a gym and lots of other training. So I thought this would be a really good way to keep the mind stimulated, be creative, be artistic. And I thought, I don't just want to do drawing, I want to do something that's unique, something that's got a bit of a niche to it. So I decided to take my hand up and doing pyrography, so wood burning. And it's actually a lot of fun. It requires a lot more focus, and you get into this flow state when you're on it, which you get with a lot of artistic crafts and things like that. You get into this flow state where time just completely stops, and you're just in this zone. And
You're engaged.
Yeah, that's the word for it. You're right, you big old dictionary, hobby, engagement. Fucking hell, I'm being out intellectualised by this motherfucker.
No, that's the. To me,
He's as clever as Paul.
Mr. Fancy Man, make words good.
yeah, I'm wearing a suit on the next podcast.
Now
I'm
it
gonna
makes
have to.
effort as
I'm gonna
well.
have to spend all my savings on it, but you know, you gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah, look, I had the same thing when I got back from Thailand after the accident. It weren't straight away, was it? It was after I had the first surgery and they put all metal and shit in my ankle.
Yeah, I met you.
Level work. No, remember I got into that level work. I was selling that all over. I got real good at that.
Yeah, you're making like
similar.
saps and patches. Like, yeah, those patches you made were fucking dope, man.
Well,
They were
those
really
saps, I was selling them all over the world. I was shipping them out to America and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah, I remember,
Canada
like,
and
on that,
One of
that
that fucking
Facebook
ship.
group, wasn't there?
yeah, there's a fucking commander of a fucking naval warship.
Yeah, that's
Bought-
badass.
And I made this belt.
Don't get your dick out.
Made this level.
We don't want to get demonetised before we get monetised.
We're never gonna get monetized.
We ain't getting one
Yeah.
least politically correct
Yeah.
fucking podcast.
Unless
on
like some some real retards start like wanting to put money into us,
Yeah.
then we're never gonna get monetized. No, but yeah, he was. I remember like that was your way of passing the time,
Yeah.
and then you were like learning at but you like you made like a little belt pouch for your knife.
Right.
For your fucking Laplander saw we go camping like
Stuff, it's
just-
healthy. It's
yeah, yeah.
stimulating. It's like most people, they go home and they just fucking sit on their arse and they watch Netflix or play video games. Like I ask
That's
people,
deadly,
I ask
man.
people the same age as me at work. I say, so what do you do when you get home from work? And they just say, I'm so tired. I just watch Netflix or play fucking games.
that's
Honestly,
deadly.
that is bullshit. You're not tired. You're uninspired.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I've read a book before.
What?
Yeah.
Fuzzbuzz.
And I
There
remember
was this caterpillar and he was so hungry.
I read a book and just the one. But like caterpillar. But
You just got that. It's about an hour later.
You're supposed to be the smart one.
Wait, what? You guys thought I was the smart one?
I thought you was like Paul.
We're blind leading the blind
No,
at this
we're
point.
fucked now, guys. Jesus.
I think I've got dumber.
No, definitely,
I
yeah.
haven't, have I?
Definitely. It's too
The last
pussy,
year or
mate.
so.
Since you've been getting pussy, you've turned into a jock.
I am,
Everything's either gay
Yeah.
or not.
I used to have a vocabulary. I was a published
You were a
poet.
published poet, yeah.
Now I'm just a fucking meathead. All I think about is like lifting weights and fucking.
Yeah, like you're a bully. I'm embarrassed to walk around with you
I am
some
a
days.
bully
You
sometimes.
just go up to girls and like, hello, darling.
Come
And,
here,
like,
girl.
whereas like 3 years ago, it was like charming, and now it's just like, hello,
I
darling.
don't even use hello darling anymore. It's come here.
Oh, no.
That works.
Say it all, say it all. No, say- no, what, you're missing a
it's
bit,
about
you're missing a
You've
bit.
got to catch the eyes. And then you just sort of, hey, come here.
No, you're
Oh,
missing
that's it, that's it,
No,
that's
you're
it.
you're missing something. It's like, girl,
Oh yeah, you got to say girl.
come here.
A girl.
Yeah. the
You
thing
want to
is,
register?
I wouldn't say.
It
that-
never fails.
I wouldn't say
never
that the
fails.
women that works on are like hard to get. You know.
Fuck off. Dude. No.
They're all daddy
No,
issued
no.
to fuck.
It's actually the last sort of batch. Very varied. Very
Yeah,
varied.
and the common denominator is they're daddy issued to fuck.
No. You like to think that because you can simplify it.
Because this is the only thing that makes
not.
fucking sense.
They've all got good relationships with
Hey.
their fathers. Well, except for that
Girl, come here. It
It's
ain't.
just 'cause I'm fucking.
It's not a fucking Quentin Tarantino
It's
movie.
because I'm juicy. and it's the beard. It's the beard. And the leg.
Should we get you strong and
And-
juicy
and the-
t-shirts,
and the
man?
fame, and the
Yeah, and the fame, definitely the fame.
It is the
yeah.
fine. I'm big in New Zealand.
He's the world's most disabled man.
World's
Second most disabled man in the world, yeah. Right,
He's gunning for the first.
Yeah, I'll get
This
there.
year.
Anyway, hold on. Shut the fuck up now, come on. No, I was reading this book until before I knew it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I just kept going through to the next day and I finished it.
Then you
And I
found
was-
Wally. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
But I was like,
There he is. Oh shit.
Alright, Cody.
But
Crack on, crack on, crack on.
oh, cheers. Can I finish now? Thank you.
He
but
needs
it-
permission. Alright, I'll stop.
Gilmore, shut the fuck up.
I don't even
You'll
know
find
Cody.
out later. Yeah, but I was that inspired by it that it just it like sparked something in my brain, and I had to like get busy with something else. You know, it was like one of those. I couldn't just like think, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep now. It's like I had to get moving in some way with like a project.
What was the book then?
I can't remember. It was what? You know what? It might have been Generation Kill.
I didn't read the book. I watched the
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
series. It was fucking good.
I read the book after I watched the TV series.
It was fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It was Sixter, Sergeant Sixter. Your mustache.
Where are you goddamn helmets, boy?
What a character. Sixter on your six. Like the geezers walking behind a gooseneck.
No, it was a fucking good show, man. But like, you know, like that's happened a few times with things where it's like something inspires you so much that it just bleeds over into everything else. You know, and it can like you can do something or read something, it will reprogram your brain.
Yeah, when I read My Heroes by Ranulph Fiennes, that fucking triggered something in me big time. That was like when I decided to join the Marines, decided to start running marathons. Just one book, and I was just like, fuck it,
Yeah, I'm
mate.
still reading that. It's phenomenal.
It was literally
some
just-
people are capable of.
It was like, what have I been doing?
Makes you feel so small compared to
Yeah,
them.
what have I been doing?
These
I've
people
got
are rolling the dice.
so much potential within me. And at the time, I had like the worst fucking job. I was picking litter on a landfill site.
Is there a lot of litter on landfills?
What a bit. That's where it fucking goes.
It's like,
It never ends. Like, oh, there's a bit. Oh, there's
It's
a bit.
like the definition of just futile. You know what I mean?
Is that
And I'm
like,
sat there doing it, and like, they didn't even give a fuck. They're just like, yeah, there's your shit. I'll just go up the top and just sit down.
is that what the dole office sends you on when they can't buy
I found
you off?
that job. I was basically doing community fucking service for money. And I thought, I've got so much potential in me as a human being. And I read this book and I just thought, what the fuck are you doing? Because just before that, I'd gone to university and it just wasn't for me. I always knew it wasn't for me, but I allowed everyone to talk me into it. Like, you should go, you read all the time, you write, it's perfect for you. And I knew that it wasn't. And I still did it, and did the first year, and it was just horse shit. It was nonsense.
And you did well as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I got A's in every single thing, but I just knew it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know, it was getting me out where I wanted to be in the world, so I jacked it, and then ended up sat there picking litter on a fucking landfill site, thinking, what have you done? And I read that book, and I just thought, now's the time to change my fucking life.
you know what actually gave me that realisation as well was actually the first time I read any work by Paul Wagner, when I read The Complete Transmission.
Yeah.
Because it was just that balls to the wall fucking approach. Like, you are not fucking special. Like I hate all this fucking self-help books that you get these days. It's just like, you're perfect just the way you are. It's like, that is the last thing I fucking need, because I am not fucking happy. So it taught me to fucking get off my fucking arse and make a fucking difference. And I'm a completely different person than I was 4 years ago.
So I watched this documentary, like Jeremy Clarkson did a documentary on people who received the Victoria Cross, and it turned out that like his wife's father, who like died before like they ever met, he like died in the 70s or something. He'd won the Victoria Cross back in World War II, right? And he never mentioned it. His daughter didn't even fucking know, right? That's the kind of guy he was. And then he heard, as he started researching it, he started hearing this guy's story. It's fucking crazy. Like, he ended up like having his trousers blown off him. He was blind in the middle of this battle, and then managed to find like some mortar, and he was like firing it from the hip at tanks. And then as they retreated back over the river at night, he still managed to find a razor to shave before they got back to fucking base. You know, like fucking crazy. Like, and there was another dude back in World War One. He got his leg. They got shot to fuck. This like pilot in World War One. And he put his report in at the end, never gave himself any credit, and he didn't even mention he lost his leg in the fucking flight. like you read shit like that, and you're like, that's a fucking man. Like, and that's inspiring. That will make you want to do more with your life. You're like, whenever you're moaning about something, say I can't do this, you're like, well, yeah, I fucking can.
Yeah.
Just making
I'm just
excuses.
not.
When I got my leg chopped, remember we were out the night before.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that.
He fucking does.
We went out and did ritual, didn't we? And I got this death rune, ear rune tattooed on my hand.
Yeah.
And we did a ritual. We like bathed in sage and stuff, sage smoke. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, I decided I was gonna, because I was still in two minds, wasn't I? As to
Well,
what
you
to do.
told us you weren't gonna fucking do it. You
yeah.
said you made your mind up. You weren't gonna do it.
And then I went back and told all my family that I wasn't going to do it, but I knew I was going to do it. I didn't want to worry everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That
my
was
mum and
Sunday.
everyone didn't know. And then so when I went up to the hospital, the only person that knew I was going to have the amputation was Dan, Captain Dan.
He drove you, didn't he?
Yeah. And that was fucking scary, walking into a hospital on two legs that I could walk on to get one of them chopped off.
I can't even imagine.
It was fucking surreal. And then once Dan had gone and I'm on my own and I'm sat there in the gown, and it was like, you know, a good hour or so of just sitting around and having conversations, and then walking in, sitting on the bed, and he starts fucking linking up all the drugs and shit. And he's like, "You sure?" And I'm like, "I made my decision."
And it was shit before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Like,
was,
it was just
fucked.
pain
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
knew, like, anything that you're doing now, you couldn't have done that.
No.
Nothing at all.
And the only option I had was for him to fuse the heel joint. So I would have walked with like a horrible limp for the rest of my life. I just didn't want
Now
that.
you've got a cool limp.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I remember that, like,
But like, if I hadn't got into that mindset before by reading those books and learning about those sort of people, I wouldn't have had the balls to do that.
It's a tough decision to make.
It's so much easier to not make that decision. Oh,
Yeah.
It's so much easier. So much
Baby
easier.
wants his bottle.
Daddy needs his medicine.
It would have been so much easier for me to not make that decision and to just go, "Oh, I'll see how it goes. I'll see." Do you know what I mean? It's
You know,
easier to do
I
that.
actually went through that in my head one time. I was like, if I was in the same situation as you, to actually say yes, cut it off. I don't know if I could actually fucking do that. You know?
I remember that weekend very, very vividly.
It was a beautiful
And
weekend.
yeah.
Out
We,
the
it was-
club.
like we went out, we fucking trudged through these overgrown train tracks down behind the zoo in Kidderminster, and fucking like we're just like laying on this fucking abandoned carriage,
Smoking
staring,
doobie, wasn't
yeah,
it?
like just smoking a bit of weed. Like there's like a fucking train going past, people looking like, what the fuck? And like, but it was a great fucking weekend, man. Like we got, like I got stoned and we went played Vietnam in the fucking fields. We were like crawling through the grass and like
we're fucking that train.
and this fucking like there's tractors going back and shit. We're like hiding behind bushes and shit like that. And like,
Were
man,
you the Viet Cong or were they the Viet Cong?
I'm
in
not.
your
I
head?
think they were the Viet Cong.
I thought we were the big.
Ah shit.
I should
See, I thought I was a
fucking throat
GI.
there.
But then like I remember like
They
that.
just came out of the trees, man.
That was like-
we were just kids, man.
They're in the fucking floor.
Yeah, no, the tractor pulls away and Wolf looks at me and goes, "Motherfucker didn't see a goddamn thing."
It got a bit intense. I could hear the explosions going, napalm and shit going.
It was like
That's the
Unfortunate
voices in your
son
head.
playing from a fucking helicopter.
we like hid behind this bush and this tractor's like getting out like, what the fuck's he doing? You look at me like, give me a knife.
God, it's fucking
God, he's fucking thrown. I'm like, shit, what's going on?
We were this close.
It went a bit weird. And like, we're not joking, by the way, this fucking happened. But I remember like that, you know, the next day, like Sunday, like walking out, and then like Monday, the first time I fucking knew about it was Facebook. And I see a picture of you with you fucking like giving a thumbs up.
No,
or
I was
something.
fucking throwing up the wall.
Yeah. And he's like, and he's got your fucking like, I'm like, you motherfucker, right? But I wasn't mad. I was like, yeah, that's fucking Wolf, innit? Like your girlfriend at the time, like he didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell his mum. Of course he ain't. What do you expect from him, you know?
That's me.
It is inspiring shit though. You do have your moments.
Boys, I think we better wrap this one up.
Yeah, we've been going for fucking hours, haven't we? Now Thea's here. Say hello, Thea.
Hello.
Oh come on,
That was
Thea. Can you at
enthusiastic.
least introduce Adam the Jew?
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
What is wrong? You need to cut down those bags.
I know, you're only 14. You should be smoking lights. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Be responsible, Thea.
Come on. Introduce Adam.
It's Adam the Jew!
Oi, Vay, she could have done that.
I'd say that's a wrap on that one, yeah. Anyway, be retarded. Let's go.